Hello, Street Fighters, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. We are back, as usual, to take calls. It's Sunday night, time for a Street Fight call-in show. That number to dial is 614-655-3887. You can watch us right now on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Just follow us on any of those platforms. You'll get notified when we go live, and you can chat with all the other people watching the show. We are doing this one virtually today because of my new living situation. So please bear with us. There could be some tech diff, but I doubt it. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby. We are the #1 anarcho-comedy radio show on any station across the nation. And we do it on WCRS LP FM out of Columbus, Ohio, community radio. Check them out, WCRSFM.org. Check the shows out. There's music, there's talk, there is a whole diverse array of shows available over there. So please support the show, the station that keeps us on the airwaves in Columbus, Ohio, WCRS LP FM. I am happy to be back because I just did the show a couple days ago, and the live show was not the most favorite thing I've done. And I did the first day of school, which was incredibly fucking stressful, but I made it through, no catastrophes, and we're back into the saddle with school again. So I feel all right. How about you, Brian?
What grade are you in?
I'm in 3rd grade.
Okay. Well, good for you, man. So the first day of school is always tough, and getting to know your new teacher and everything, and getting all your supplies made fun of. It can be very tough in the 3rd grade.
Well, I did for my kid. I didn't buy any of the supplies, and I was like, I'll just get them this weekend, and you can take them on Monday. So I'm not going to live by their like back to school shopping rules. I can still buy the stuff even if there isn't like a placard of a kid doing a fucking cartwheel hanging above me, you know.
I'm getting fucking bummed out. Just, I don't have a lot to do when it comes to school for my daughter. But back to school night sucks shit. And I know that's coming up now that you bring it all up, that at some point I'm going to have to go and sit in an auditorium and then walk to different classrooms.
Yeah.
And then just be like, the teachers will be like, we'll teach them geometry and, squares and shit. And I don't like it when students are late and stuff like that. And then you go to the next one and they're like, yeah, English, periods and commas, it's great. And then you're just like, why am I here? I feel like I'm in school.
I know, it's weird. It does feel like I actually trust them. Like, I'm not that suspicious of anything. I don't give a fuck, really. Even the second day when I went to pick her up, the teacher came out and was like, oh, hey, she is just great, just so great to have in class. And I'm like, perfect, just tell me when she's not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Gwen's never been in trouble, really. She gets into little fights with her teachers or whatever, but they don't like ever contact me about it or anything. And this is all coming from Gwen's side too, where she probably is fighting the teacher in her head and not like actually out loud saying stuff. She's probably like, yeah, the founding fathers were fucking dicks. In her brain while the teacher's teaching about it or something. But I've never had to go in for that because that was a big weird fear of mine for a long time, because I was like, I gotta fucking be straight up. I don't care if she's bad. Like, if you call me in, I don't know what she would have to be doing. Okay. If she was being homophobic or racist, I'd be like, oh, this shit's got to stop. We can't have this kind of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But if she's late to class or even cuts class, I don't fucking care. I do it all the time.
I'm not even going that far. I mean, you just don't take me all the way here to say like, I'll punish your kid for cutting class. I'm like, I know school has not changed that much. I know they still get in trouble for that. I don't think that we've completely lost it to the freegans.
I do kind of feel like I'd be curious. I guess that we should have Gwen on again sometime soon to talk about this, because like I don't hear a lot about kids cutting school from
You're not in school.
From her.
Why would
from,
she
like,
tell
talking
you?
to her. Because she tells me all kinds of shit.
Yeah,
I hear all kinds of shit.
You think you know what it's like to go to school?
The funny thing that I hear now that is like my favorite thing is that, like, when I was in high school, man, you go to the bathroom and it straight up just smelled like a smoker's lounge. It wasn't just because I was smoking in there. It was because like somebody was always smoking in there.
Yeah.
So like you go in there and it would smell like people are smoking. And then Gwen tells me these stories like, you know, you go in the bathroom and it smells like a vape pen. And it's like, well, those are pleasant smells. Like, I don't even think that's like a big deal that it smells like pancakes in there.
Yeah, I mean, the times change, you know, but it's still the same old school. I mean, she's going to my elementary school system that I went to. So even all the buildings are the same. It's the same boilers. The boilers break down every single year at the same time. I mean, this is just good old classic school. They haven't upgraded shit since 1975.
Yeah, I keep asking. I ask every day what she like did, and she mainly says nothing. They got a new school. They had a little protest last week, but it was really ill conceived, and now they're trying to come up with a new concept and absolutely failing at that too. And like, I don't have a way to help, so I'll explain this. A girl got hit for a dress code violation for spaghetti straps on her shirt.
Gotcha.
Now, Gwen claims this is 100% not true. Nobody can tell me this is untrue. She says there is no dress code at their high school.
Yeah, that's just because you didn't pay attention to it or just blocked it out when they started saying that stuff.
I know. That's what I told her. I was like, dude, there's a dress code. There's a fucking dress code everywhere. In this world, you are not going to get out of life without sometime being dress coded. I'm sorry, but
here's what I would tell her.
I don't agree with that dress code though either. I don't agree with the fact that dudes can wear tank tops and girls can't. Like, I don't agree with that. I totally get where they're coming from.
I would say something. I would tell her that this is the first example of you always got to read the employee handbook, because this is the first time the corporation is going to slide like 36 documents in front of you and then hold you accountable for some shit you did not even know about. That you're like, fuck, I can't get in trouble for that. And they're like, it's in there. It's in the handbook, dude. It really is.
Yeah. So I go like, so what she goes like, so we came to school the next day, me and like 14 of my friends, and we wore spaghetti strap shirts. And I was like, you know, fight the power or whatever. You know, I'm with you. I'll come in. I'll get your back and everything like that. She was like,
wear a spaghetti strap tank too.
Well, no, I would have gone in and been like, hey, you know, if the boys are allowed to wear tank tops, so are the girls, basically is how I would phrase it. Like, as in, like, you're not allowed to enforce one set of rules on one group of people and another set of rules on another group of people. That's not cool. And you know, it's sexist. You have to know that. And so like, I would go in, but she went to school and they all got in there and they said it was too cold. So they put on fucking flannel
chickens shirts. That's chicken shit.
I know. She got scared, and it's okay. You know, protesting is scary.
Yeah. You don't actually get in trouble for doing that.
Yeah. I mean, and also like the way she made it sound to me was like, even before they put the flannel shirts on and shit like that, nobody said anything.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, when you're protesting and nobody notices, that's a blow to your mind.
Yeah, I guess this is also another employee guide here, in that like, you have to know that if you're doing something wrong, they're going to find a reason to cite you. But if you go in there not making any noise or doing anything, you like perfect angel, so in your spaghetti straps, they're like, oh, they don't care.
So now listen to their new plan, which
Okay.
is as bad as a plan could be. I can't wait for the chat to hear this. I can't wait for the listeners to hear this. Wear spaghetti straps in January when the building would have the heat on.
That's not the worst.
And
but
no, it is, because nobody's going to remember why
yeah, as I
they're
say,
doing it.
that's true. You're going to prioritize justice over comfort.
Yeah. Winter, and you're wearing a goddamn spaghetti strap in the winter. That's got to be horrible. That would be and the heat in the school is not going to work in such a way that it's going to be hot in there during the winter. That doesn't happen ever. It's not how school works.
Yeah,
it's always maximum uncomfortable in the school.
Right.
They keep it that way on purpose, and I believe it.
Yeah, it's hot when it's hot. It's cold when it's cold.
It's so funny though. I was cracking the fuck up when she said, so we're thinking when it's winter out.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're gonna forget. You guys really need to sit down. And you know, she's been going to the Students Against Racism club. Like,
I hope you were going to say society.
I don't remember
SARS. It would be SARS.
It's called BARC.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what it stands for. I know the R stands for racism. That's what I know. Okay. That's like a general rule. The R stands for racism. So she goes to that, and she's learning about like Tulsa, which she goes to tell me about that. And I was like, oh, you know, I spent a whole summer in Tulsa. And she was like, what does that have to do with it? Who cares? And I was like, I don't know. I'm just telling you. But but they meet with like real organizers. You know what I'm saying? And there's like 30 of them, and they meet with like real hardcore organizers. I think they've had Michelle Alexander in there and stuff like that. Like, they've done some real shit, you know, talk to some real people. And like, I wish they would teach them how to prioritize like time in your program. Yeah. There's a time thing that like you can't like go out and be like, hey, last summer some shit happened and we're too busy. That's why during COVID we did the marches, right? The George Floyd protests. We couldn't wait until COVID was over. That would have been a weird mulligan to take, where we would have been like, oh, that George Floyd stuff was fucked up in like 2023. You can't like really do that. So yeah, very funny story though. I'm glad they're fighting back, because I you know, spaghetti straps were like against the rules when I went to high school, and dudes were allowed to just whatever, man.
Maybe not spaghetti straps though.
Well, they never did, but somebody in the chat said this too. I have to give credit, because this is something that they did where I went. They would take a measuring stick out. Cyber Sludge in the chat said they would take a measuring stick out, and they would like measure, because there was a certain amount of inches your sleeves had to be.
Oh yeah, the girls are in trouble for just wearing clothes, because it makes old men think sexy thoughts about them.
Exactly.
Adults think sexy about them, and and punish them for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're gonna get written up. You're gonna get written up and and she's just like, it's a dress code violation. I was like, what does it mean? She was like, Dad, it's a fucking dress code violation. And I'm like, well, if it doesn't mean anything, who cares? I mean, even like if you got a jaywalking ticket and it was $15, it would be like, whatever, you know, it wouldn't bug you that. I'd probably fight it, you know, just because I'm tough. There's a big anti-jaywalking thing going on in my neighborhood right now.
Oh, really? Someone get hit?
You know what? Yes. A kid got hit. Not like super fully injured, you know, just hit by a car. And they're just, you know, hey, quit that jaywalking, kids.
Oh, okay. They're trying to get kids to use the corners.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I don't jaywalk very much.
Oh, I remember as a kid though, like trying to run across the street real fast and kind of slipping and then having a car slam on the brakes and kind of looking up and thinking that's the last thing you're going to see.
Yeah, and then they give you grief when they
Yeah.
like you're scared you're gonna die, but then
Yeah.
you also get grief. Like I saw a kid once get hit by a fucking car and they get yelled at for it.
Yep. Yeah. You're in big trouble for that.
Like I almost got hit by a car one time. This woman, I was walking to school and she was pulling out of her driveway and I was walking by the driveway and I don't know. I couldn't have been looking at a phone or anything, but she almost hit me. She almost ran me over and I smacked the back of her car and yelled something at her, but I was in 7th grade. So she yelled at me and I got in trouble for it. So
yeah,
mainly her fault. So, but yeah. I mean, Baltimore, Maryland, man, that is like they jaywalk there, man. That's a jaywalking ass city. I know this.
DC is pretty bad, but Baltimore is definitely not the worst, the most prolific and the most well practiced. It's a part of the culture to just go right across the street wherever you're at.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. I mean, I think if you don't get hit, it's fine.
I think that there's those little lights that they put over there that like give you this feeling of safety and security while like cars are fucking flying all around you. I believe in more active transportation, something like keeps you on your toes, where like you got to sprint or something, you got to make the right move. I actually, when I was rollerblading and got way too fucking confident. I've been rollerblading for like an hour and I was so tired and I didn't want to sit and wait at this fucking light that I always wait at. And there was no cars coming. So I stupidly jumped off the sidewalk into the road and tried to cross as fast as I could. And when I got to the other side, I was so worn out and didn't know what to do. I couldn't stop. I just like splattered all over the fucking ground. But that was on the sidewalk. It was not the road.
That's how you pull an injury.
Yeah, I mean, if you got, I can't pull those like last minute maneuvers like that.
You get some road rash?
No, not that bad.
That's the worst. Nice scrape all over. Scrape will ruin you.
I got a worse scrape from playing on one of those inflatable toys. When we went to that indie race in Nashville, my kid begged me to go on this race, this like obstacle course race, and I was super serious about it. And I dove really hard and slid and got a huge burn on my shin.
Seams? Was it?
No. It was just like the vine. It was just like plastic.
Okay. Yeah.
It fries you.
Yeah. Plastic is bad. I would agree. So it was like a wipeout situation.
Yeah, pretty much
like an American Gladiators eliminator situation.
No, I mean it was inflatables, but it was just like dive over this fence, run through these little barricades, jump through this hole. That shit.
Yeah, they should have the eliminator now. Now that I'm thinking of it, we should just be able to go to the eliminator. Like, where is that? Why isn't that in the Smithsonian Institute? The eliminator from American Gladiators. I don't know, but
that would be nice to. They should have that restored somewhere so we could do it. Same with like the mountain from Guts.
Yeah, just put them in the Smithsonian. People love that shit.
Yeah,
the Smithsonian just has fucking Fonzie's jacket. It's like, who cares about that now? It's over.
Play on the set of Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yes, please. But they wouldn't let you play on it. They would just put it in there and say, please don't touch the Legends of the Hidden Temple gimmick.
Yeah, I
used to really like Nick Arcade. Like that was what I thought I could kill on.
That shit rocked.
Yeah, that's the game I thought I could like really win on because I'm not a physical specimen or anything. So if it was just playing video games, that was set for me. But then I watched it recently and it turns out that like they made up video games, which I'm not going to be good at that. You can't.
You got to be able to think on your toes, man. How good are you if someone tosses a controller in your hand?
Yeah,
true. Your skills.
True, you're like playing the newest game. So yeah, I don't know how I got there.
Good museum, the Asheville Pinball Museum, probably one of the best because they have like a little placard that tells you all about the game, and then you can actually just play it.
Yeah, why aren't there more? We have a great pinball place in town that hopefully stays open because they have a dickload of machines in there at pins pins, and they're well taken care of too. So yeah, pinball games are fun. I my dad got me one as a kid, like a toy one. Wasn't the same thing. Not as fun to play with as the actual pinball machine.
Oh yeah, it can't be recreated.
No. We got any calls? You want to take some calls?
Yeah, we got calls.
Let's take some fucking calls, man.
Here we go.
Let's get these people on a list.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, Street Fight. This is Terry from Kansas City.
What's up, Terry? How's it going?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys. I was calling in with a quick story about what happened to me the time I tried to bring weed on an airplane.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I mean, that's pretty easy to do. Was it weed or was it edibles?
It was weed. It was flour. It was just straight up flour. I had a great plan. I thought to myself.
Yeah. And when was this?
So this is what happened. So this was around 10 years ago or so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They still said that should make you a wasteoid and that it would ruin society. Yeah. Still do, but.
Yeah. So I was headed out of town for my buddy's bachelor party, and I had to have my little jar of weed with me. But I was smart enough to know not to try to put it through the conveyor belt x-ray machine, because I'm sure somebody would recognize that. So my plan was to wear a pair of cargo shorts, put the little glass jar. I had this little I had this little frosted glass jar in the cargo shorts, and it had to be less than an eighth of weed. It was not very much at all.
Yeah, I'm freezing cold right now. I'm so scared. It's just, you did it the worst possible way. You know, God bless you for trying, but you got to put it through the x-ray machine. That's the way. Like, it sounds counterintuitive, right? But you run it through the x-ray machine because, one, they don't care. And two, yes, the puppies in the chat has said this. I get flagged for kratom every time anyway, but they'll just be like, "What's this?" And I'll be like, "Some tea," and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, we'll just keep going."
They
don't. I couldn't tell them kratom.
No, they don't. They pull that little swab of paper. They do that little purple paper test.
Yeah, they do the test, but you're always supposed to take all your drugs on your carry-on because you don't want them in your clothes, because then they're just gonna pull them out and take a look at them.
Well,
you know what you could have done though?
Happened. I had the little.
Let me tell you a little story real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off there. I know there's some like latency and stuff because we're remote. I had a buddy that we went to see Ozfest 97, and none of us had any food, no money at all. We paid to park in pennies, but he knew he was going to want to have to eat. So he cut a little hole in his underwear and he put a piece of rope through the hole and then tied a bunch of candy bars to it. And it just kind of dangled in his long Jinko shorts.
What the fuck?
What? Is that a bad? It ended up not being a great move because it's Ozfest, so it was like 90 degrees and it all fucking melted anyway. But he did get into the concert with the candy bars, which I was impressed with.
Hanging like salamis from like a butcher shop.
I swear to you all my life. We were standing outside and he was like, "I have this idea. Can somebody," he pulled his underwear out a little bit and he's just like, "Can somebody cut a little slit in my underwear?" And then I got this rope from tying stuff down to the roof of the car, like lumber, because his dad was like a home renovation maniac. So he had that lumber rope and he had like 6 candy bars. And you know what? If it had worked out, he would have been the hero of the day because we would have all been able to eat some candy bars while we were there. It's just when we got there, you know, body heat. sitting in a car. He did it before we got in a car to leave.
No.
Yeah, that didn't help. But like maybe you could have done that with
jerky or something. Sorry,
Yeah,
no, we have with the jars. No, you could do like a tie stick thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear how this went down.
Okay, so I'm walking through the metal detector. It doesn't go off because I don't have any metal on my person. It's a glass jar. Okay.
Glass top too?
And so, yeah, glass top, all frosted. You'd have to open it up to see what was inside of it. And it was just a little jar. It was a tiny amount of weed. But so I go through the detector and it doesn't go off, but the dude, he tells me to step to the side. And he has his little hand wand. He wands me over and he points at my cargo pocket and says, "What do you have in your pocket?" And I said, "A jar." And he asked me the jar. So I take the jar out. I hand it over. I hand him the jar, and he opens it up. He takes a look inside. He says in a voice loud enough so that only he and I could hear it, "I'm going to pretend I didn't see that." He closed the jar. He handed it back to me, and I got on the plane. Had a great weekend.
Woohoo! Fuck yes.
I think one thing I've learned is that TSA doesn't really care that much unless you're like pulling kilos of coke through. Like they don't really look. And like it was a glass jar. You were respectful actually for doing the glass jar, and also when he asked you, I can feel the panic in your heart when you said it's a glass jar. I once saw Brett have one of the worst. He's not an anxious guy like I am, but he got flagged at TSA on the way back from tour, which is like, I mean, people give us drugs at like almost every date. So we always have, especially on the West Coast. West Coast people are just drug motherfuckers, you know, and they'll give us drugs. Oh no, this was Northeast, which was even more drugs because we have a lot more we have a lot of friends out there, right, Brett?
Yes.
And me and him went, and he wanted to get a gift for his wife, so he got her a cupcake, bath bomb, and he got fucking flagged because of the cupcake bath bomb. And he just kept saying like, "So what kind of stuff you looking for? You know, what's in there? What do you think you're looking for, sir? You know, is there anything in particular that you're And I was just standing there like, dude,
yeah,
you look so guilty right now.
I couldn't stop. I just wanted to know what the flag was. I just wanted to say, is it a Ziploc bag? Is it a little tiny Ziploc baggie, or what is it that's in there? And it was just because I bought a milkshake bath bomb. So it wasn't like the hard, compact bath bomb. It was like a loose sand of like layers of milkshake that was supposed to be foamier and frothier and creamier than any other bath thing. And so they basically thought I was bringing in like, you know, like dynamite sand, whatever that shit's called.
Yeah.
What's inside dynamite?
Maybe
gunpowder.
Because I've heard that can be drugs and, you know, bathing equipment.
Yeah, it was very funny. I mean, it wasn't funny in the moment because I thought, you know, I don't want to miss my flight because I gotta go get Brett out of jail.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't like to see Brett to me is like a rock, a stone, in the wind, you know, and there's a hurricane, happening, and everything's falling down, and the trees are falling down in the woods and all that stuff. Brett is always a rock. He's like, I don't worry about shit. I don't really fucking care. But at that moment, just the amount of questions he was asking, and I was kind of already through security and watching it go down and just pacing like, holy shit. And then when he got done, though, I will say this, when Brett got done with TSA, it looked like he just like skydived or something like that. Like it seemed like it was a real fucking moment, you know, real exciting, you know, it's over now. Okay. Yeah. I just did a fucking daredevil stunt, and I got through with my coke and ecstasy.
Right. um, so I mean, just to wrap it up, I'll say the best advice I have for traveling is number one, mail it to yourself with the post office. That's the most safe method, because the post office has to have a warrant to check your mail. And if you're only doing it one time and you're not mailing it to tons of people, then they can't get a warrant. FedEx and the other ones will check your mail, UPS too, maybe. Number two is in your checked luggage, because if they scan your checked luggage and they see something bad, they'll just rip it out and throw it away and put a little note inside that says, we took your illegal shit. The carry-on is the one where like they have to deal with you in person now, and like you have to go into the little room and they have to say, why do you have this or that, or what are your plans, or who are you meeting up with and shit. Trying to get it through the metal detector and the pat down, that's just like offensive, because it's like, we see that, like I see that in your pocket, you got something in your pocket. So
yeah,
that's
they want every goddamn thing out of the pockets and in that little thing, because I'm a mess in TSA.
Oh yeah,
I know I'm going to get flagged, and I don't like taking my shoes off in public, which is good that we have pre-check now, so I don't have to if I ever fly again. And but when it comes time to empty my pockets, I just have 1,000 things in my pockets. I don't know why I don't pack lightly for the airport, and then I'm just pulling headphones and fucking cable splitters and fucking like Apple cores. Everything's coming out of my pockets.
oh my god, and your sweatpants weighing down to the fucking ground, and like the little tie just hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, but fucking pull a hammer out and a wrench and fucking just, I have 1,000 things in my pocket every time. Then I always, right before I get to the line, I throw my lighter away. And I don't even think they like care about that at all. I think you're allowed to take a lighter on a plane, but I always throw it away. I'm like, what if they fucking decide lighters are illegal? I guess I don't know. So
yeah.
But yeah, take it, put it in your luggage, and also ideally be a very dad looking white guy, and they will never bother you. Really, they only bother me because I have kratom. If I didn't have the kratom, they would never even, and even then they're like polite to me while they go through my stuff. That's something I think is crazy, is like that's something that is crazy to me, is that like they'll be like, I'm so sorry we got to do this, and I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, you should apologize. It's just like when the cops pull me over, they always apologize to me too. So
yeah. All right, well, thanks for calling in.
Yeah,
Terry.
Thank you. And
have a good night, Terry.
Brett's advice, just do the responsible thing and put it in your butt. Good night.
And ask some fucking weirdo when you get into town, right? Can't you just do that, Brett?
No, that's man, that's really takes a lot more effort than it seems like, to find somebody to do it, to get your weed.
You're not a podcaster.
Yeah,
that's where the trouble comes in.
Right.
It's like if you're a podcaster, you can just be like, I need weed in New Orleans or whatever.
You are just really flubbing it up tonight, huh?
Why?
You just lost Freudian slips.
Oh no, I was
bringing up hurricanes in New Orleans.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about the hurricane. I just goddamn looked at a picture of a building that got knocked down by a hurricane.
Right.
And then I saw the Al Roker video, that was something. Holy mackerel. He got hit.
It is awful. It's awful too. I've heard the power is now out, and this is kind of it's taken so long for us, but I feel like people that stay in the hurricanes are kind of getting the McDonald's lady vindication that they deserve, and that people recognize that nobody that had the money and the means to get out of there wouldn't be doing so, so the people that stay behind are kind of are more backed into that position than like making a free choice, with their time and money and life, really.
Yeah, it's fucking scary, man. I living somewhere with like no natural disasters, I got to imagine. Holy shit, it's I don't know. And also the power going out for several days is a nightmare for me. That is, I think about the power being out for several days. What's his name opened up his church though? Joel
Saw
Osteen.
that.
He did today come right out and say, you can come to my church. We're not going to stand outside with guns or whatever they did the last time.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, I am Ohio 2020 in the chat said the governor isn't evacuating the hospitals. I like truly don't think you can evacuate the hospitals, right?
I mean, I think there's a will, there's a way.
Right. I'm saying like to where?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think my question.
Yeah, this hospitals are not in good shape right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I truly, my heart goes out, and you know, I'm sure we might get a hold of some. We might hear from a New Orleans person. I don't know. I'm saying that like I lined one up, and I want to be clear right now. I did not line one up. So, but I will for the Sunday after next.
Okay. All right, ready for next call?
Do it.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, fellas, it's Lucas from Connecticut.
What's up, Lucas from Connecticut? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. My kid also starts school tomorrow, so it was our first school night since or like the beginning of the pandemic. She hasn't been to actual school since distance learning started.
Oh wow. She go to bed on time?
No, of course not. She had to figure out her outfit, and it was a whole big ordeal. About an hour later than usual, which isn't too bad.
How old?
She's going into 5th grade.
Oh, okay. That's outfit picking time. Yeah, for sure. I hated that. I just I am a stereotypical bad dad. And during the winter or during the summer, I would let Gwen stay up until fucking 4:00 in the morning with me just because I liked hanging out with her. And then when it came time to go back to school, it was a nightmare getting her sleep schedule back together. And so yeah, it's tough for people with younger kids for sure.
I'm the same with Charlotte, and I let her stay up real late, but she adjusted pretty easily. She's falling asleep early now. Yeah, and school wears them the fuck out.
Yeah, for sure. So the first day, usually it's not bad unless, Gwen, being my daughter, always comes home on the first day and takes a nap and then just is the same problem for about a week before she figures it out. We are the Quinby bloodline likes to get a lot of sleep. It's just like a thing that is needed to run this machine. They call it Quinby.
Okay.
And I passed that on to her. So what's up tonight?
Not a whole heck of a lot. I wanted to call in and tell you about an awesome fucking show I went to last night. Sick of It All, hardcore band that's been around for 35 years. Played a show in my town, and it was a doozy. I mean, I saw Fish like 2 weeks ago in New Jersey, and I'm not a jam band guy, but I do like live music, and one of my buddies is really into Fish, and I was like, all right, I'll check it out, see what it's about. And it's weird. It was an okay time. The people watching was better than the music for me, but
Get it?
So this hardcore show is the first one that I'd been to in forever. And when I started going to hardcore shows like 15 years ago, I was one of the youngest people in the crowd, and seeing Sick of It All last night, like there were a lot of people that were bald, not by choice. Like there was a fair amount of people with shaved heads, but also just elder punks. And it was just a fantastic time. Weird crowd though. I wore my ceremony shirt, hardcore band from LA. I think it's LA, somewhere in California, but they have a shirt that says "Burn This Flag," and it's got the Blue Lives Matter flag on it. But it's featured very prominently as just a Blue Lives Matter flag. And like at first glance, and like in a pit, like you don't have a whole lot of time to assess the shirt. So I was a little bit worried that someone that probably has similar views to me would see the shirt and like crowd kill me on purpose, just like go after me in the pit or whatever. But didn't happen. There was a guy at the front who had a shirt that said, "If this flag offends you, I'll help you pack." Like one of those kind of shirts.
Wow. Yeah.
And, it was just a very strange crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys listen to Sick of It All?
Scarabs. I haven't. I do remember when they got some MTV heat for like a really short little sliver of time. They had a video. I remember. And wait, no, that's Civ. I'm thinking about Civ. I don't think I've ever heard Sick of It All. We have a buddy named Arthur. He goes by Slim Missile on Twitter, and he thinks that I am due to get into New York hardcore pretty soon because I mean, he just thinks I've been circling it my whole life. I don't know though. I'm just not the kind of guy that I don't know. I don't understand it very much. But can I ask, is Sick of It All, does the guy wear a suit?
No, I think you might be thinking of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
No, I'm thinking of I gotta see, because I know I've heard of Sick of It All.
Hardcore is not usually, they don't wear suits in hardcore. I don't think you can get away with that.
Maybe I'm thinking of Civ again, CIV. So yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I would like to go. Oh yeah, Korn opened for Sick of It All. That's how I know Sick of It All. They toured with them, and they said you know, Korn's like a super diplomatic band, right? Like they're not gonna shit talk very many people, but they said that, you know, some nights they fucking murdered on that tour with Sick of It All, and then some nights they did not do well at all. The crowd was not receptive to Korn.
I can see that.
Yeah. It's a weird. I mean, I gotta listen to hardcore. I think it's important that I listen to hardcore sometime.
Until I started listening to Street Fight, I just kind of laughed off Korn and Limp Bizkit and like nu metal in general. And after listening for a few years, I've been like, you know, if this many people are like this into it, it can't be that bad. Which is kind of how I felt going to Fish as well. And like this was like a real small club kind of show, like really, really tightly packed in. Stage is only like 2 feet high, no barriers or anything, no security. The green room is behind a sheet that they put up in the corner. And
wow,
I was a little concerned about COVID, but I figured with that many people in there, like me being the only person, one of maybe 6 people wearing a mask, it probably, you know, if it's going to spread, it's going to spread. So I've got a test scheduled, and like I got tested after I got back from Fish, and I'm vaccinated and everything, and I do my best to do what I can to not spread it. But yeah,
I mean,
I'm
outdoor
tested again this tomorrow.
I haven't worried about outdoor, but I have, you know, my concerns about indoor stuff. We just did a live show Thursday, and it's real tough to perform for people in masks, I gotta say, for comedy. And
yeah, I felt terrible. I there was like, I felt sick like halfway through. Like, why are we having people come here to do this? You know, especially when we have a really cautious audience and we're cautious people. And it's like, it didn't make any sense to me. But I will go die for my favorite band though. Like, they're worth it.
I've actually talked about this. I talked about this at the show on Thursday night, Brett, to some listeners, that like the night that they canceled the NBA season or games, right? We were watching Dynamite at the Elevator Bar, and I was watching that, and then they canceled the games, and the room started to feel really small, and there's probably only 20 people there, but I like melted down and was like, I don't think I can breathe. I can't breathe in here. I'm freaking out. And then you know, went into quarantine. So, you know, I don't fucking know I don't know where to go with it. You know, I mean, I like live music, and I'm planning to go see live music. But then again, I'm not going to the movie theater at all.
Yeah.
I feel weird about that. I feel weird about the movie theater in a way that I don't necessarily feel as weird about live music, because at a lot of venues, they're checking for vax status and stuff. Like at the Express venues, you have to show a proof of a positive test or a vaccination card. I can feel good doing that. I would be fine with that 100%. I think that like the movies feel scarier to me. It's a small dark room that they'll just let as many people in as they want to.
Yeah, but no, everybody's afraid of the movies, though. I mean, like 5 people are going to the showings, but 100 people are showing up to concerts.
Yeah, but again, if I don't know, I think like if they're doing that kind of checking at the beginning, although I did walk by a concert line where they were checking, and an unsettling amount of people with the proof of a negative test in their hands that you just want to shake. You just want to shake them and say, just wouldn't life be easier if you didn't have to fucking take a test every time you wanted to go do something? So, and yeah, in the chat, Throne of Human Skull says you can watch a movie whenever it's already shot. And like, I've come over to that side of things. Like, there's movies I really want to see that are only in theaters, but I'm just like sort of thinking like, I can wait. It's like 45 days now is all it is. It's like, I'll just pretend the movie's not out yet. And then when it shows up, I'll watch it. You know, before I was really worried about getting spoiled, but a lot of the stuff I was going to see, I don't think I really even cared that much about, like the goddamn Marvel movies. I was going to see those on opening night, so I wasn't spoiled. And then it was like, ugh, this sucks. So, well, I hope you had a good time, and you know, hopefully we get up to Connecticut at some point someday when it's safe and we can go back out on the road. We hope to see your face.
Yeah, when Hellfire was coming up here, I was going to go to either Boston or Providence, but then that whole thing happened. So I'm going to get tested again, and pending its negative result, I'm actually going camping this weekend with a bunch of Northeast street fighters. We're all meeting up in Vermont and doing a couple days in the woods.
Tight.
Bro, we should have gone in our...
Yeah, so
I almost called it Nirvana. I almost called it going to Nirvana because of the Nirvana kid. But man, I'd love to go up to Vermont and camp. Not camp, but I'd love to go up to Vermont and hang out. But thanks for calling. That's a really neat thing. Yeah. Sounds like a nice meetup.
Yeah, hopefully next week nobody has a story about how that guy Lucas from Connecticut's an asshole. But you guys have a good night, and I'll catch you later.
Appreciate it.
Oh, no. Hey, thanks. Well, what if Lucas from Connecticut turns out to be an asshole?
And I feel like he just told on himself.
I know. Now it's like, I'm going to this thing. I'm going to be an asshole. Okay. I mean, that's what I do.
Sick of It All, I listened to when they went on Fat Records in the 90s because I'm a poser. And Civ, Brian, I would say not to listen to Civ. I would listen to Gorilla Biscuits before that because I love that band.
Don't like that name, though.
Sure.
Again, a guy that listens to a band called Korn. I understand the thing. It just, I don't know, man. It feels like I am a generally fairly open-minded guy about rock music.
But yeah, hardcore, they just make it hard to like. I mean, it's just like they're just trying to be, I don't know. It just seems
abrasive.
Like too much. Yes, it's so
Really?
abrasive.
You didn't get into any of that? Like,
I mean, I like I mean, maybe the old 80s stuff, I guess. I mean, I like the old ass Husker Du, like the first one or whatever it was. And Gorilla Biscuits, and the Crow Mags with the lion on the front is pretty good. Really? And like Leeway is pretty good. I know like Allie and Alex both like them, and I think they're in that realm maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't listen to it. It's just not. It's not. I'm a groover. I'm a dancer. I'm a mover. I'm a shaker. I don't want to like punch people and shit. I like to mosh, but like I like to do it to a rhythm. I like to dance aggressively next to people. I don't want to just like swing my fist around and take punches because I'm a tough guy.
You like new metal moshing?
Yes.
Or like hip hop moshing?
Love it.
Over like hardcore moshing. Because I'm the same way, man. I am very much I like a groove too. That's why hardcore is not something I've ever given any fucking chance to, because it's the same thing. I talked about this on Matthew Perpetua's show, Flux Pod. I was on there kind of talking about stuff that I'm into. And he he's like, do you like Metallica or Slayer? And I was like, when I was growing up, I didn't like either one of them.
Yeah.
And he asked why, and I just was like, because fast doesn't impress me. I liked Pantera because there was a groove there. It was like a southern kind of groove, and that's why I like Korn, because there's like a groove in a lot of their songs. Like hardcore to me, New York hardcore especially, doesn't feel like they're trying to groove at all. Like they're trying to remove the groove, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, that's like a new tagline. Hardcore, remove the groove.
Well, I mean, if I was in a hardcore band, I would definitely make that album. Hey, we gotta remove the groove.
I listen to a lot. I mean, I guess I do listen to some Black Flag sometimes, but I don't keep up with it. It's just intense, and the people are off-putting. I'll say it. I don't care.
Yeah.
It seems hard to get. Everything about it's obtuse, which is cool and hardcore, but not for me.
The intensity,
I'm a social butterfly.
I'm with you on the intensity too. I went and saw Suicidal Tendencies. And the band opening up for them, I got kicked out. Ended up getting kicked out like 45 minutes into the concert because there was only like 30 people there, and my brother Jason and the guy I was with decided to light a bowl and just start smoking it, and they were like, you're out. So we ended up getting kicked out. But before it happened, the opening act had like maybe 10 people moshing in the pit, and it looked like a fight. They were like, their arms were like swinging around like they were doing the windmill, like when you were a kid and you would get in a fight, and if you didn't know how to fight, you would just be like, I'm gonna fucking do the windmill then.
Just swing your arms.
Sometimes you would win. Like I saw kids win. I'm getting like way off on a tangent. I saw kids win with the windmill, but then like the next day they just got their balls busted for doing the windmill. So it was like almost like you might as well just get beat up not doing the windmill. But guys were doing the windmill and kicking and doing karate kicks, and I was like, I'm not involved. I can't do this. And that's how I felt. Yeah.
Oh, there was I remember another horrible hardcore band, Blood for Blood. They were like always whining about how everything was so fucking tough for them, and they were like stronger than everything and shit, and they were going to persevere.
Yeah,
it was
that's
like
us.
Yeah, that's true. We're hardcore. Yes, it's true.
Isn't that what Hatebreed is too? Like when you check out Hatebreed and you're like, these guys are persevering, I guess, is their whole gimmick.
I never listened to them.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were hardcore.
Yeah. No, they're not hardcore.
Oh, gotcha. They're just into perseverance.
Yeah, they're really, and I think they are actually considered hardcore.
Okay.
But like not, I don't think they're I think they're like the commercial kind of hardcore. Like hardcore on a major label.
Yeah. They were definitely like standing over a couple genres, just trying to make something popular.
Yeah, because Jamie Josta was the host of Headbangers Ball Bear for a while too. And he's the lead singer of Hatebreed. And they had a lot of metal influence in them too. I don't know. I mean, Brett, you might like them. I don't know if I liked them.
We'll see.
Gave him a couple shots, and I don't know.
I'm gonna do Hatebreed. You're gonna do Sick of It All, and we'll come back next week and we'll see what we say.
Wednesday, basement show. We'll see.
Basement show on Wednesday. Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
What up? It's Sam from Brooklyn.
What's up, Sam? How's it going?
It's going good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, feeling pretty nice. I just crated, so I'm kind of like feeling it right now. I'm like riding the snake, and it's still also like a little nauseous, but overall I'm feeling okay. I'm reading a chat Psychic Gasoline just asked if there are any Bloodhound Gang fans. And Psychic Gasoline, one of the hosts of this show was a Bloodhound Gang fan. And that is Brian Quinby.
Oh, I know I was too. And it came on the other day. I was on this amazing trip with this person and it came on and I sang every fucking word to it and felt so embarrassed.
The Bad Touch?
No, worse, the worst.
Firewater Burns?
Nope. B-side. I'm not gonna say it. Yeah.
I like the album with Firewater Burn on it. We don't need no water, let the mother burn. Yeah. All right. Well, so what's going on tonight, Sam?
Well, I'm a new Street Fighter. I just subscribed to Patreon recently as well.
Cool.
And I wanted to thank you guys for kind of de-gentrifying leftist podcasts. I mean, I got into podcasts like a year ago, and I've been listening to them a lot. And of all the leftist podcasts, this is probably the most New York hardcore, least poser one that doesn't talk about, rich people problems. You can identify it. It's nice to hear. Thank you, guys.
We can't talk about rich people problems because we're both poor. I got a little complaint here. Sam, now that you bring this up, I'm gonna do a little complaining here. My phone bill.
Go ahead, hit me.
My phone bill takes 6 days
to
go through when I pay it, right? So I'm always convinced I have more money than I have.
Mm-hmm.
And then I check the account and then it's like, oh no, I don't have very much money. And I don't like that. So Sprint, get it together. And also I had this conversation last night on the internet, sort of. I was at self-checkout at the grocery store grabbing some shit, right? And this guy was writing a check at self-checkout. And I was like, "Bo, there's no way that's a kite right there, buddy." Like, probably wrote it for 50 over. And I just kind of looked at him and I wanted to like shoot him a fist bump. And then somebody mentioned and it was just one bag of groceries too, like a small bag.
Yeah, probably wrote over. That check was a good year.
Yeah, that thing was floating. That was for sure. And I just somebody was like, they should outlaw those machines that can read to see if the money's available.
Yeah,
even on a check. And I got to thinking about it and I'm like, that's a good point. And it sounds like a real street fight point. But let me toss some logic into this, okay? These motherfuckers, if I go to put money in a bank account, they fucking hold on to the money, right? For a few days. If I come in with a check and I fucking say, here's a $5,000 check, I don't know where I would get this check and whatever. But if I took it in there, they would say, we're going to release it to you slowly. And it's going to be over like 5 days or something like that. Some shit like that. I don't really know. It happened to me when my wife got her inheritance, which was $7,000. So anyway, she got her inheritance and it took like over a week to get the money. Well, if they fucking can do that, if my deposit doesn't go in as soon as I deposit it, then they shouldn't be able to check and see if I have the money when I'm writing one. Until that becomes instantaneous, which me and Brett have been told the conspiracy to keep it from being instantaneous. There's like an actual reason it's not instantaneous. Then they don't get to use that little machine they have. You got to decommission them like they did the red light cameras in Ohio when they said these are illegal. You can't have them anymore. And now they just sit there and they don't do anything. So
I didn't know that you guys didn't have red light cameras anymore.
We did for only I would say maybe a year, maybe 18 months. And somebody took them to court and the court ruled that they were illegal. And it was also like a scandal.
Wow.
The company that they contracted with, there was also a scandal. So they just shut them all off. They're not allowed to have them. That was like kind of a good thing because, I hated red light cameras. They make me paranoid. Even if I'm not running the light, it's like they can still take a picture and say I ran it. And I mean, I know they probably don't do that, but I'm paranoid about it. So they might as well do it because I'm living as if they do.
My dad recently got popped by a red light camera. And
Really?
we have speed cameras here as well. A local pastime is to sit kind of on a bench on one of the straight roads here, drink, and then cheer whenever the cameras goes off.
Wait, so I mean, if you're speeding, they can give you a ticket in Brooklyn? Like, no, that sounds stupid the way I said that. But if you're speeding and a camera hits you,
5 miles an hour.
bro, they don't do that here. They don't fuck with that. They do. It's funny because it's so toothless in Ohio and Columbus, at least. They do have signs that tell you how fast you're going, but there's no like consequences to going too fast. So you can just kind of be like, ooh, I was speeding a little bit there. Like, they don't have cameras or anything on them. That sucks. That really sucks. I feel for y'all. I mean, you don't drive very much though. So
you want to hear a crazy bit of New York speeding camera politics is that our current public advocate, a position that's technically an ombudsman, a position with no power, a guy whose job it is to complain and advocate on behalf of the public. His name is Jumani Williams, and he's had literally dozens, more than 28 speeding tickets in school zones. And they asked him about, this is a guy who recently won an election. They asked him why, and he says it's literally impossible to drive 25 miles an hour in Brooklyn. He can't do it.
I think it is. I had a libertarian teacher one time. And he was so libertarian, by the way. Like, he would come in with a fedora on and he would show us South Park clips while we were like in class. I paid a lot of money for that education too. This is at Ohio State University. But he used to tell us that, like, you know, it's legal for the police to pull you over for following the law too closely. So if you're driving the actual speed limit, they can still pull you over. And I don't know if that's true. I believe that it probably is.
That
because
sounds like the equivalent of pulling over a black guy who has too nice of a car and saying, "Where'd you get this, huh?"
Or even
that's very likely.
Yeah, that's super likely. But also, like, I get what you're saying. Like, because I don't know. I don't think most people follow the laws of the streets, except for don't cross the yellow line.
Not at all.
I think, 25 miles an hour.
Oh, in Brooklyn, they don't follow that either.
Yeah. I will agree
guideline.
with you. I will agree with you, though, that, like, it kind of is impossible to drive 20 miles an hour, I think, that's the school zone speed limit here. I just don't think it's possible to drive 20. I've never been able to do it.
It might be 20 here as well, because 25 is actually the normal speed limit.
Right.
I mean,
that he just refused to dip below 25. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't want to run down a student or anything. And I will be extra cautious, but there are times where, like, the school's just in session and the speed limit's going on, where it's like, well, I mean, if the kids are running out of the school and into the street while they're in English class, that's a problem I think you have in the school, not with the street. So, but yeah, 20 miles an hour is,
I think there's
a
such
tall
a
order.
high volume of people just walking on the road as you're driving at any given moment in New York City that it's not so different when you hit a school zone.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't
more people here.
Yeah, I didn't imagine going faster than 25 in Brooklyn myself, because it just seems like there's too much people and weird shit going on.
Usually, I did a lot of 35.
Streets.
Yeah, the streets are super tight there too. Yeah. I mean, but even when I'm driving home,
Streets
dude, I drive down a
double parked cars.
Yeah,
I drive down a pretty tight street, and I look at the speed on my speedometer sometime, and I'm like, man, I'm doing 28 down this street. So I don't know. I think speed limits are silly.
Yeah.
I think they should just be a suggestion, but that's just my opinion.
Autobahn.
I mean, neighborhood speed limits, I get, like I totally understand that, like, you probably need to tell people not to go 50 through a residential area, but like on the freeway, it should just be a flow of traffic gimmick. I think it should just be like, if people are going 90, that's the speed limit today. We're going 90. So so that's my little opinion on speed limits. So what was the last thing you had?
Oh, the last thing I had is a story about dress codes. So I have a story of a semi-successful dress code student protest at my high school.
Right.
This
Okay.
is circa 2011, maybe. And essentially, the complaint was the same complaint. Girls aren't allowed to wear tank tops. Guys are allowed to wear tank tops. There's the fingertip dress length situation that they have for girls, but then sometimes it's not really a fingertip thing, and they just like dress code you anyway. And then there's also the fact that most of these rules are only applied to girls who have more developed breasts at that age than others who just go unnoticed by the teachers. So given all of these things, the way that the protest went down is that they had the guys play a leading part in it by cross-dressing in clothes that would be inappropriate.
Nice.
So
the guys were wearing like short dresses, short shorts. So since a whole bunch of people did it, they couldn't really get everyone in trouble in a meaningful way. And it sort of forced concessions just because it like got into the news and the school started to kind of look bad in the newspaper. They didn't like that. There was a new principal. She didn't like that. So the like regular politics type shit happened, and they were just like, fine. You can wear tank tops now, but you still have to wear like closed-toed shoes or whatever. And
closed-toed shoes. You know what, Sam?
Yeah.
They had that going on when I was in fucking school, was the closed-toed shoe thing. Like when Nike was making like the really fly sandals. That was like the golden age of sandals. People didn't wear sandals until like 1991, and then they were like, you know what, Nike's making them, I'm gonna put them on. And you would wear them to school, and they'd be like, you're not allowed to wear these at school. You can't. That's crazy. And we really fought for our rights, and we ended up getting our sandals back on. So I guess that's a little
I'm pretty sure I could get coded for my like Nike slides, but I don't think that they would code someone for wearing like Birks.
Yeah. I mean, we were wearing the Nike ACGs, very fresh. You look them up, and you're just thinking like these are the freshest shoes of all time. And when I was in school, you had to wear socks with them anyway, because that was the style, was socks and sandals. So, it was pretty cool. That's why I still wear socks with my slides. Because I just always like to feel like I'm wearing shoes. So
yeah, I always wear socks with my slides too.
Thank you. People make fun of me sometimes when I come showing up with my socks and slides on, and I'm like, it's uncomfortable to have your feet outside, I think is really my feeling.
You're not made for slides then.
I am. I wear them in my house. They're my inside the house shoes.
It's more common for me to see guys wearing slides around here, at least, with socks, like a tube sock pulled all the way up, and you're playing basketball in your slides. That's like a totally normal thing to see.
Brand new ones, brand new white socks.
That's
clean.
Fucking so cool. That is. See, I knew I was like a cool Brooklyn guy.
Some sort of macho bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, playing basketball on slides is wild. Like, did you just accidentally walk into a basketball game? Like, how does it happen that you're playing basketball on slides?
Yeah. You walk by,
around, you're hanging out, you go to the corner store, you get a cigarette, you have a beer, you see some guys playing basketball, you say, hey, money game?
Or
Money game.
you're walking aggressively, you talk shit about somebody's shot, they call you out, you climb over the fence, you go into a pickup game.
Mm-hmm.
I like money game. We don't have money games here, I don't think. I don't think there are money games. I mean, there's the Gus Macker. That's like a big tournament. I don't know if that's a national thing or what, but like there is the Gus Macker, and I think you win money doing that. But God, I wish there was more gambling here. I probably would have got good at basketball if I saw that you can win money doing it.
You didn't, white men can't jump didn't give you a hope?
No, I have a good
Oh.
shot though. I'm pretty good at shooting baskets, actually. I could probably hit.
You could play baseball.
No, I would need. We could. If you gave me 2 weeks, I could hit at least 60% of foul shots. I think like 6 out of 10, probably 7 or 8 out of 10. I would need like 2 weeks to fucking get my equilibrium back. But I was always not too bad at basketball.
So you're trying to start like a horse tournament, like a professional horse league?
Oh, dude, street fight horse tournament, Columbus, Ohio. Can we do that?
Yeah, you're
Can we
allowed to
have a
play.
No,
basketball.
can we have an official horse tournament with a fucking prize?
You're going to take on all comers in horse?
No, it would be a tournament, and I feel like I would make it to the end.
Okay.
Right?
So it's
And
just
then-
a straight like, okay, round robin tournament.
So when me and you could do some commentary for the horse tournament, but then like when we're playing the other, like you'll be like, "Oh, Brian's up there. He's fucking good at this horse. He's great at horse." I mean, it's either I liked horse, but I think I like what I really shined at was around the world. I think that was my game.
Oh, love
That's what I
that.
won. It's the best fucking game, man. Oh, I got so good at that side shot that my friends just couldn't fuck with me. They just couldn't. Nobody could fuck with me. Now, if you're playing Chicago,
The corner three is the closest three.
yeah. If you're playing Chicago, then I'm dead because I was a small, thin man and they could just beat me up. But around the world, man, that's a gentleman's
What's
game.
Chicago?
It's like Chicago. It's called 20. It's 21. It is. It's everybody. There's no teams. Everybody on the court is their own
is
team.
it 3 people, 2-on-1? Everybody defends the guy with the ball.
It is. It can be 5 people though too. It's just however many people are there playing. I mean, 3 is the best situation, but you got the.
I'm
It's
thinking
1
of King of the
point.
Hill.
Yeah, it's 1 point per basket, and you have to hit 21. And when you hit, I believe when you hit a basket, you then get to take 2 foul shots too. And if you bust, you're fucked. You got to go back to 13. So it's 2 points. That's right. Because I know there's a bust element to it too. Also to sex. There's like a bust element to that. Heat O'Brien like pops his head in the window. There's a bust element. But yeah, Chicago. But the real thing about Chicago is that there's no fouls. You can fucking knock somebody down. And like, if you want to, you can just fucking smash someone and they fall down. And
Well, you
that
can always
counts.
smash someone if you want to.
Yeah. But that was the big selling point for Chicago, was because the big kids could fuck you up. You'd be up shooting a shot. You'd be up there trying to hit a 3 or something, and somebody would just come fucking spear you like Goldberg while you're playing. And it was like, well,
Oh,
I
man.
missed that one. But it's such a brave person's game because, you know, you're playing on concrete. It's incredible. And so I think that's the move. I think we could play a game of me and Brett should obviously play one-on-one sometime. But yeah, maybe we'll have a horse tournament. You never know. Or
I like it.
curveball tournament.
Fall
Yeah.
or fall. Yeah. Curveball tournament would be nice too.
fucking fall curveball tournament, dude, for $100. Let's just fucking let's get 10 people. They each put in $10 to enter, and then it's fucking curveball tournament. Winner takes $100.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Winner take all, curveball, fall brawl.
I fucking, dude, you got me. I'm ready to go. I'm fucking ready for it. Let's do it.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. Yeah,
Thanks so much for
curveball
having me. No gods, no masters. Free Puerto Rico.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, free them. Yeah. A curveball or horse or around the world tournament would be incredible because those are real lazy men sports. So
basketball was the one that I gave up. I just like could see the future of like what it was like and knew I didn't have any reason to be trying in that arena. But
really?
you know, yeah, I've never wanted to play. I mean, I like shooting. I do like to shoot baskets, but making a precise shot. But like, as far as dribbling and playing against another person, never even give it a shot. Do not want to do it. I do not fucking want to try. I do not care to get involved with that shit.
That's all I did. Like, that's the only sport I actually played because all the other ones seem really hard to put together. Like you can't play baseball.
Baseball's easy. You just fucking stand around all day and then wait for one moment in time.
You need like 18 people to do it though.
Yeah.
Which is where the issue comes in. And a diamond and a lot of gear to do it. And you need to be a guy that or a person that is disciplined enough to actually keep playing, I think. At least that's how I felt. So yeah, I was a basketball kid.
I mean, it was just like there's obvious basketball is just so skewed towards a certain body type and anger type or like meanness style, you know, like the people that want to play Chicago. I didn't want to put up with that hell.
I was a heavy basketball guy. So I used to go buy fucking 2 cherry Cokes and shoot hoops all day, play games.
Just like the commercial.
Cherry Coke.
Thanks for calling Street Fight. Who are we talking to tonight?
Hey, this is Micah from Florida. They, them pronouns.
What's up, Micah? How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I actually was calling in with a story about Wellbutrin, kind of a public service announcement.
Okay. All right. I heard it makes cigarettes taste bad. It's criminal.
You know what? Actually, okay. Let me just tell you how all this started. My personal experience with Wellbutrin. So in January, you know, things are a bit stressful. January 6th happened. I got stressed out. My anxiety went through the roof. So I go to my doctor, like you do. And I was like, hey, you know, I'm feeling extremely anxious right now. And the doctor was like, well, I know you have issues with anxiety and you also have issues with depression. And I know you want to quit smoking. Try Wellbutrin. So I was like,
Smart.
okay, yeah, I'll try this thing. It's a 3-fer. Why would I not do this? So I started taking it. 2 weeks later, I had a psychotic break at work.
Whoa.
Where I had to say a whole bunch of things to my boss that you don't say unless you've got a union. And I said it in the middle of a meeting.
What?
So it turns out.
Can you give us like a tiny bit of that? Okay.
Things I don't remember most of what I said, but I was calling him out on everything from differences in pay, the fact I felt like we weren't being treated that well, a lot of stuff that, again, you don't say unless you've already got like a group of people at your back, that kind of thing.
So did you feel it coming on? Like, was the whole day hazy or did it just build to this moment and then you're like, how did I get here?
Well, no, it happened like over the span of like a couple of weeks. The problem was on the Wellbutrin, I felt good. Like I felt invincible, like, you know, always right, really good. And it turns out Wellbutrin is a mood elevator. And I don't have depression. I'm actually bipolar. And what happened was my mood from being bipolar was already cycling up. And then the Wellbutrin on top of that cycles it up even higher. And that's what triggered the psychotic episode.
And you were just like, I'm not putting up with any of this shit ever again. Like, ever.
I felt bulletproof. I just went for it. So thankfully, my employer understood it was the meds, so I didn't lose my job. But it was a bit.
But they also
there for a little bit. But yeah.
Can I say that like they also know what you think about them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has that been a problem?
That element of it too, which does still have me a little bit worried. It hasn't been a problem, but there is kind of that in the background radiation.
So you haven't noticed any kind of, because I mean, listen, if somebody did, now I am not like what you did kicks ass. I mean, I know that it's tough, that it was a psychotic break and like all of that stuff, but like yelling at your boss is always kicks ass, period. But like if I was the boss, I would be like, this motherfucker's trying to take me out.
If I'm going to be, what I would say honestly is, most people spend all of their time internally protecting their own ego. So I think if you give him the out of that, he's just going to think that guy's fucking crazy. He probably thinks that guy's that person is like just, off their rocker. I think that they're probably just going to write it off, because otherwise that will rot you from the inside out.
Yeah, I think you probably have like a good point that like if somebody tells you that they had a psychotic break, I think that's when you can be like, well, they didn't mean that. That they didn't mean what they said. Did you mean what you said though?
In the interest of just in case anyone from my employer is listening, no, I meant absolutely nothing.
I mean, don't get them in trouble with court.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
yeah, but no, that like my public service announcement is if your doctor's going to put you on Wellbutrin, double check and make sure you're not bipolar first.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about talking to my doctor about Wellbutrin, but I'm already, I don't know. I get very like attached to my meds, where it's like I don't want to go through the whole switching process and also like not knowing how I'm going to react to the new thing. And so I'm always like really, I probably stay on antidepressants or SSRIs like too long because I'm just nervous to change, because who knows what the next thing is going to be. So yeah.
Oh, finding meds that would actually like even me out has taken so long. I've gone through like 6 or 7 different meds.
Oh, really? Yeah. I've only done Celexa and Zoloft, and I am like, I don't have a super like my diagnosis is like depression and just general anxiety disorder. That's like all. And I think that like, I don't know. I don't even know if there's anything you can do about it. I've just decided there's probably, other than making a lot of lifestyle changes, which, I'm constantly thinking about doing, I guess I would love to say I'm trying, but I'm thinking about doing. I don't even.
You're in the contemplative stage.
Yeah, and when you said it took like 6 tries or 6 years.
Oh, six tries, 6 or 7 different meds.
So yeah, I think that like to stick, I just don't have. I have like a weird inability to stick with things, and so not an inability to stick with things, but like to keep trying, and I just kind of basically decided that I have to do something myself at this point.
No, I mean, what you're doing is that like you're finding a reason to blame yourself off for this. Like you're not trying hard enough, but you go to a piece of shit doctor, and everybody tells you go to a piece of shit doctor, and you don't believe us. We're not saying that because we just want to fire shots at your doctor. Like she should not be a doctor. She is not should not be in charge of you. She's not the person that knows how to help you. She's just not that good. She's like a mediocre ass doctor that can, just give Xanax to wine moms. But like, she's not going to help you. You have to just step away from her and hurt her feelings and make her feel bad and tell her that she's not good enough and just get away from that doctor. She sucks.
I'm switching. I'm getting a new general practitioner. Actually, that's like my new move. I got real mad at her, at my doctor, because I share. She's another friend of mine's doctor that, she found out she was on medical weed and they didn't renew her Ativan prescription, and that's like super dangerous. And I also don't like the moralizing. Like, I need a doctor, that has a doctor that can make peace with the fact that I do recreational drugs, but I also need medicinal drugs. Because I'm honest with them. I used to hide it back in the day. Like, I used to hide it when I worked for a living, because I don't know. I guess I kind of thought they would tell on me or something. But like, now when I go into a doctor's office, I'm just like, well, this is what I do. But I don't have a huge drug problem either. I don't hardly do anything anymore. I'm not like a big partier now, but for my doctor, I like weed is too much. So yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
I'm probably gonna go talk to somebody then. And hearing that you went through 6 different medicines makes me feel like I probably haven't tried enough things and that I should give it another shot.
Well, my problem that I was running into was I kept having side effects from all the medicines. So like on one of the side effects was restlessness, which just meant that like I couldn't sit still, and it would only hit between the hours of like 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. So when I'm trying to sleep, I can't sit still. So like that one,
Yeesh.
yeah, I was only on that one for like a month or so, but yeah, like side effects like that are kind of one of those things that you just kind of have to roll with whenever you start taking new stuff.
I sort of feel like I might have that because I can't sit still. It's very obvious that I can't sit still because I spend the whole day walking and don't even think to take any days off. And when I do get home, like today, I was like, I'm gonna take it easy. And so I walked 10 miles, which for me is taking it easy. And then I got home.
Oh man.
And I cleaned the whole house and did all the laundry because like I didn't know what to do if I sat down, I don't know what to do when you sit down. I guess look at your phone or read, but I just don't know what to do. So I just am always up. I think I've convinced myself that sitting is the new smoking thing. I think I let that get to me, but I'm like, I also do the other smoking, which is
well, you should
bad too.
You should not do things that are obligated to do or that make you look good for doing them. You should pursue things that actually bring you pleasure instead of looking at your fucking phone, because it is stealing your life away from you.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thanks for calling, Micah. It's an interesting story and a good public service announcement. I think, one of our producers is on.
I just want to warn everybody. Real quick, can I plug something?
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
I've got a podcast that I do with my brother. We're both transgender. It's called Gender Swap. It is a comedy podcast about nothing. So if you ever find yourselves bored out there in street fight land and you want to listen to us talk about, vampires or moose attacks, give us a listen. It's wherever fine podcasts are sold.
All
nice. Right. Check it out, everybody. Sounds cool.
Yeah,
sounds
night, interesting. Micah. Thanks for calling in.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I think that's the next, not exactly thing, but I always do stuff like this, but I think the thing after Shocktober should be paranormal and UFOs and stuff like that. Mentioning that Micah said something about vampires, I want to talk about like UFOs and ghosts and monsters and cryptids and stuff like that.
Well, we already do like Man Cow and
yes.
Howard Stern and you know.
They are monsters. That is true. Been doing a lot of listening, and it's not going as easily this year. All right. Well, you want to take another one?
Yeah. Do we have music? I didn't
Who
think about that.
knows? I doubt it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we can make it through.
Yup. Who's this?
Hi, this is Emily in Indiana.
What's up, Emily? How's it going?
Hey guys, long time no talk. How you doing?
Good.
Sorry to
good.
hear about the show the other day. That was a bit of a bust.
It was just scary. We panicked, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'll get back on the horse sometime.
Yeah,
So what's up, Emily?
right. Yeah. Well, I was calling in to I didn't want to top the other guy's weed story, but my spouse and I had a bit of a run-in the other day and had on full display our white privilege.
Okay. Beat a ticket.
So first of all, no, this is the remarkable thing. First of all, I always go by the credo, one crime at a time.
Makes
And
sense.
we were committing 3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
first we're carrying.
Carrying weed?
Second, we had yes. And you know the penalties in
Okay.
Indiana are pretty stiff.
Yeah. Yes.
So we were carrying. And our license plate light was out.
Oh, that's a
I didn't
tough
know
one. I mean, what are you really gonna do there? I hate that you can get in
Right.
trouble for that. I think it's bullshit that you can get in trouble for that because
right?
yeah, but how are you supposed to know? Like that is one of those like, what am I supposed to get out of my car and check to see if my license plate light is working?
Inspect all your lights.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's probably what they think.
Yeah. Every time I've been pulled over by a cop, well, not every time, but a good majority of them, it's for a license plate light because you don't check that. You never do, right?
No.
So-
Or like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
driver's side headlight is the other one that they always get people for.
Mhm.
I think you're allowed to have the passenger side headlight out, but the driver's side you're not allowed. So a little hint for you there. So you have a busted driver's license light and weed, and what's the third crime?
well, normally we super secure the package, let's say, and it's wrapped up. It's put in an obscure place that they never begin to look, and there's probable cause, like you said. Except it was just put in the glove box casually this time. We'd gotten casual about it, lax.
Okay,
That was
people
the
get
big
that way.
crime.
I get that way too. I get very much like, well, I mean, I can have weed now, but like I used to get pretty lax with it and just I would sit it like in the cup holder and drive home when it was still illegal here. Because you just don't ever, you're like, what are the chances I'm gonna get pulled over?
Yeah. What's a road trip with a blunt?
Yeah. Also, is the third crime murder? Did you kill somebody and have them in a trunk?
No. if only. No, the last one was I was accidentally carrying 2 driver's licenses.
That's illegal?
One
Having
had
2
my wrong
lic-
address because we moved recently.
Oh, so I didn't know you weren't allowed to have 2 licenses on you. I mean, just,
They didn't
Yeah,
punch
it's
the old one.
Wasn't a felon or whatever, right?
yeah. I don't think they
Well, this
care.
wasn't
I mean,
important to me until after the guy finished searching the car.
yeah. So what happened? Did he search the
Right.
car?
So here's what happened. Yeah, so here's what happened. We're heading home. I'm driving. My husband's down drowsing in the seat next to me. We're listening to some podcast, I guess. And the cop, I see him coming up fast behind me, and I, give him the elbow of, hey, someone's coming up. He goes disco. So, of course, I pull over immediately, it's got to be something minor. As the cop's coming up, and it's a sheriff, thank God. I want to know who has had the worst run-ins with sheriffs versus city cops, too, because I've got a definite scale going on those. But he goes for the registration, and when he opens the glove box, just a huge wave of it comes wafting out. And the cop's like, well, I can smell it in your car. So if you confess to me right now and tell me, if you only got like a little bit, we'll let you go and just give you a warning about the taillight. And so I'm side-eyeing my husband, and he's side-eyeing me. And I look at the cop and I go, so just how much do you consider a lot?
Oh, God.
Because we were carrying a half ounce. Yeah.
Yeah.
A half ounce. And I don't know what he is a lot.
That's a pound to them. In Indiana, that's a pound.
Myself to anything. Yeah, exactly. So before I go incriminating myself to anything, I'm like, okay, just what should I confess to, right? He starts chuckling, and he goes, I've been doing this for a long time, and no one has ever asked me that. They like just go, oh, no, it's just a little bit, just a little, just a touch, just a sprinkle here, and they got like 3 pounds in the trunk or whatever. So he was impressed at my ability to be comedic, apparently. So he got out, and he's like, as long as I don't find anything else in the car, bongs, knives, guns, whatever, we'll just give you a warning about the light and let you go. So the other guy watched us, and we made small talk while he searched our dirty ass car, and that's all we had. We were just private personal use. So it's like, oh, yes. And it's like, that's what you get for being too casual, especially in a fascist state like Indiana.
Yeah, the fucking laws in Indiana or something.
Yeah, and I always so the one thing I remember,
Right.
I also remember Stefan telling me was that you need to keep it away from you where you can't reach it, so it doesn't look like you were using it while you drive. Because if you do get ticketed or busted, that's at least some leeway to say like they were just transporting it somewhere. They weren't like actively getting it out of the cup holder.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Never even thought of that.
That's why, again,
Yeah, you fucked up.
like I say, you don't.
Well,
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, if we'd have been any other kind of person, we'd have been sitting in a lockup that night. I guarantee.
For sure.
With federal charges, probably. We'd have been talked down to probation, probably. But oh God, we'd have been so effed, right?
Yeah, they would have got you.
So yeah, I recognize how I can flash my dimples and be a sweet little gal when I need to be.
Yeah. I mean, I can automatically switch into goober dad like really easily. Like, oh my, I was going 20 miles over the speed limit. Oh my, I didn't know what the speed limit was. I was just trying to get home and get this ice cream to my daughter, whom I love more than anything in the whole world. But yeah,
it's an ice cream emergency service.
Yeah, hey, you can't be in a car with the ice cream. So, yeah. I mean, I got pulled over with her. I got pulled over with her, and so I got out of it. Well, thanks for calling, Emily. I appreciate it.
Right. So the lesson is, listen to the wolf. Is there any other reason they can pull this car over?
Yes,
only one crime at a time, dudes.
One crime at a time.
I want to know who's had the worst run-ins. Yeah, one crime at a time. And who's had the worst run-ins? City cops or sheriff deputies? Who's the bigger dick? That's what I want to know from the group. So,
I'm
of course, you don't mind.
All right.
I don't.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
Peace.
Sweet.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
We got one more call to go.
All right.
We're done.
We'll just ride it out, my mans.
Riding the calls out. Oh, wait. Nope. Actually, we don't. We have no more calls left.
Well, we're done then. We're off the clock. That, the Flintstones. I always say do the Flintstones. Like
It was iconic. That was the most iconic punching the clock there was. Like, I definitely wanted, I knew that was a great feeling getting off work. I could tell.
100% agree that like there's never been a better illustration of the end of work on anything than sliding down that dinosaur's fucking tail and just being like, I'm fucking drinking beer, whatever, I'm gonna go get a big fucking rib and go to the drive-in,
Yeah, gonna go hang out with the Water Buffalo Club.
Yeah, oh God. I loved the Flintstones, man. That's why me and Brett, I can tell a little bit since we're done a little early with the calls. One of the things, so I used to do this old podcast, and then we met doing another old podcast. And the guys that I podcasted with before Brett came in, and then even for a while after Brett came in, used to like really make fun of me because I watched Hanna-Barbera cartoons and stuff growing up. Like they thought it was stupid, or like I liked Bugs Bunny and stuff. Like, what about X-Men? Why do you watch the Transformers? And I was like, I don't know. I like fucking Snagglepuss. What am I supposed to fucking do?
Huckleberry Hound. Yeah.
The Flintstones kids. Remember the Flintstones? Like the young Flintstones where it was like Bam Bam and Pebbles and they were just hanging out.
Yeah.
I fucking love Captain Caveman. That's just who I am as a person. I'm a big Captain.
You're a Hanna-Barbera. I'm a Hanna-Barbera guy.
I really am.
We should be Hanna-Barbera adults and get like cuts and jackets and tattoos.
Do you think that? I mean, it doesn't seem like. I think Hanna-Barbera, just for real quick, I think Hanna-Barbera really fucked up getting out of the Kings Island business. Is where I'm at, because you don't see a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff out there these days.
That is also how it captured my heart too. It sponsored the kids zone at the theme park in Cincinnati, and I got to ride in like Jabberjaw's mouth, that was like a highlight of my childhood.
I loved Jabberjaws, and then people would be like, "It's just a Scooby-Doo ripoff," and it's like, "Yeah, but Scooby-Doo fucking kicks ass, dude."
Yeah, that is probably
that's probably what got me too. Was like, I loved Scooby-Doo. I loved Kings Island, even though I was like afraid to ride all the rides. And it was just like Deputy Dog and like, I mean, really, truly the most iconic thing to me in this world is Wacky Races. Like, I wish they would make a Wacky Races movie. That might be the only animated movie I would go see. As if they were like, yo, we're rebooting Wacky Races in the old hand-drawn style. I'd be like, I'm in. Fucking Wacky Races it is. It's the best shit in the world. So
they could do a Wacky Races with the Wachowski sisters, like Speed Racer style.
Oh my God. How can we get that? Can we try to, I know they don't do a lot of interviews. Maybe we can try to get the Wachowski sisters on the show and be like, hey, have you thought about doing a Wacky Races movie?
Yeah.
I think they're the only people that can do it at this point. Now, when I start thinking about it, I'm like, is there somebody else? No. Quentin Tarantino. No. The Wachowskis is probably the pick, really. So,
seems like him.
Somebody make this Wacky Races movie. That's a movie I won't offer to write because I just want to enjoy it. Purely, I love the Wacky Races.
I'll also sum it up here in the chat. Hot Local Al says, city cops or sheriff, who's the worst? All cops are bastards.
Agreed.
Thank you for listening to the show. We're Street Fight Radio. And thank you to everybody that donated to the fundraiser. I keep having these weird moments where I'm like grooving in my car and people like smile at me and I feel like I'm just having the best day, and I don't realize it's because my cars look so fucking obnoxious.
Are they giving you the look like I was saying?
Yeah, I mean, I was driving on the street like just totally just crawling. That's the thing too, is I go under 20. I don't mind going under 20 and kind of whipping around the corner, just letting like momentum kind of keep you going, like you're roller skating down the street.
Right.
But yeah, I was going, and this woman was walking her dog, and she kind of just bounced, like nodded her head and kind of gave me a peace sign. It's like, damn, it felt like the today was a good day video, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, again, for the listeners, we talked about this recently. If you see a fucking sweet car, turn your head to look at it as they go by. Even if you don't really care to do that, it's just kind of like turn your head. Even if you see a good outfit on somebody, if somebody's sporting like a cool Deadpool like tracksuit,
right?
Look, you know,
let them know.
Okay,
give them some approval.
All right. Well, we'll see you all on Wednesday. You know, what do we got coming up, Brett? We got the movie cinematic universe. We will be watching Meet the Spartans this week.
Wow, this is a bad one. I did see this one too. I know I saw this one
with Tony Boswell for Minion Death Cult. And just a street fight on Wednesday. And I think, yeah. So get ready for the sweet get ready for Meet the Spartans with us. And next Sunday we will not be taking calls because I will be watching All Out, but there'll be something in the feed. So
yes, subscribe to it as a podcast. If you only watch us on a live stream, we do a podcast as well. You know, look for Street Fight Radio wherever you find podcasts. Like and subscribe to the show. If you want to support what we do, you can buy merch over at store.streetfightradio.com or get access to our bonus shows at patreon.com/streetfightradio. We will see